Hey guys, welcome to the Red Vault again. This is Tolga SERT. Today we will check the Drummer X2 pedal from Mooer Audio. So, actually it's the first time I put my hands on a drummer pedal. Most of the time I'm using drum loops and the software instruments for my recording and rehearsal and jamming purposes. But it's an interesting pedal. We have 11 different patterns for 7 different genres in that device. Also, we have a few different options on that device, like we can adjust the BPM and we can put an EQ touch on the sound of the patterns of the audios. Also, we can adjust the level as well. We have 2 different knobs for genre and the patterns. Also, we have 2 different buttons to add an attack on the ongoing drums as a filler or a closing act. Before connecting this bad boy, let's talk about how we can use this pedal. First of all, we have 2 input and 2 output which can act as left and right. But the audio files, the patterns, are not stereo. We have mono audio files in that device. Because of that, it can be a good companion for street performing stuff, since most of the time people using just a guitar amplifier for that kind of purpose, and since those devices are mono devices, sending a stereo audio to those devices can be messed up sometimes. But in contrast with it, since the absence of the stereo field of the audio files in that device, it can be a bad decision for music tracks, because you need a stereo field in the drums of a professional track where you can hear the hi-hat on the left and right on the right, or the reverse of it. It's up to producer's decision. As I remember, it's a 2 different approaches from USA and the Britain. One of them processing the drum where you can stay between the drums as a drummer, and the other one process the drums where the listener stands in front of the drum. It's a small trivial information about processing drums. Anyway, let's turn back to the device. Still, if you want to record a track and you have no idea about either recording drums or processing the software instrument drums, or let's say you don't want to use the previously recorded or prepared backing tracks which is available in the internet, it can be a good companion either for your demo and sending between band members kind of tracks, because the mono drums won't be a huge issue when you are trying to recording one of those stuff. But for me, it's the perfect solution of jamming issues, because I have lots of friends coming and going. Since this recording facility already being designed for recording purposes most of the time, staying in the same room and hanging around isn't possible for me, because I have my drums in the other room and I have lots of cables coming into my audio interface. Also, I have only just one cabinet with one power amp, so I can jam with only one friend, where one of us playing drums and one of us playing guitars. But when we have lots of people in here, I need a better solution for drums, and I believe this device can solve these issues instead of trying to find a good backing track from YouTube in every 3 or 5 minutes. And in the next time, I'm gonna connect this device instead of trying to play drums from the other room, where there are lots of issues like the snare is too much in that room, or we can't hear you, or there's a small latency from the room and the speakers kind of stuff. Next time I'm gonna put that device, adjust the BPM, adjust the genre, and then we will just play above it. So it really hypes me up because of that issue. Now let's connect this device. Like the other devices from Mooer Audio, we can connect this device to the computer and we have a software to control it. So let's open up the Mooer Drummer X2 software. Let's connect it. In here we have 11 different genres and we have 11 different patterns for each of it. Most of those patterns in 4x4 time signatures. Also, we have 2 different language options as English and I believe it's Chinese. We can either use it as dark or light mode. We can update either the firmware of the software. Also, we can reset the device just like that. So, the device overrides the software. So, when I adjust the BPM from here, as you can see, the software changes. But adjusting the BPM from the device is a little tricky. So if you need a specific tempo, you kinda need to connect the device to the software. As I mentioned before, we have 11 different patterns for 11 different genres, but I can't show every one of them. So let's start with metal. I'm gonna make it flat. It's nice. Also, we have an EQ knob in here. Actually, I kinda like the effect of the EQ knob. When you crank it up all the way, you can get a beefy snare and kick sound. Let me show you. So it's the flat version. It's the closed one. You know, it's kinda boxy, it's kinda thin, because it's a low cut actually. And after a certain point, it acts like high cut, I believe. You know, it has this 90s Floridian death metal compressed kick and snare. It feels like that for me. You know, that sticky kick and piccolo like snare sound. It's nice. Let's make the speed, make the tempo as 200 because it's metal. And let's check the patterns. So it's metal 1. Now we are talking. It can be better to using those as half time, especially for the 3x4 and the 6x8. So those are the 11 different patterns of the metal genre. We will check one different patterns from every genre too. But let's talk about the transitions between patterns. I believe you can hear when I click to a different pattern instead of ongoing pattern, it kind of waits to keep the groove. So I want to show the effect of the buttons, because those two buttons just about the transitions. And in the second time, I'm gonna add an attack into it. As you can hear, it was different from the current pattern. And then let's close the pattern with the different. It kind of went off before completing the full circle, but as you can hear, it was not closed on the exact moment when I pushed the button. Instead of it closed the pattern in a certain point. So let's check the patterns from different genres, and before making that, I'm gonna make the EQ flat. So we have pop. Yeah, there are lots of closed hi-hats. And as you can hear, it keeps the transitions even between genres. It kind of waited to. By the way, you can use those punk patterns for metal too, as ska beats, etc. Hell, I think you can even use the Latin patterns for metal too. I was kinda late to change the genre, because of that it waited. So I believe you can't use the country for metal. But I think punk will work. Maybe 260 is too much. Yeah, it can be used. It's inhumane. Maybe it can be used as a Hot for Teacher kinda intro. It can be used as a blast beat, but it also can be good. Yeah, it's nice. So simply you can use the patterns of different genres for your own purposes too. And it was the drummer X2 from Mooer Audio. Please don't forget to share your thoughts on the comments, like and subscribe. Till the next video, see ya.